Here we go, up! Whoa! Hello everyone! So we're going to be taking a look at the 20th anniversary remake set for the original generation for, what is it, V-Force. It comes with Gaia Dragoon V, Dragoon V, Driger V, Draciel V, and Dranzer V. I'm very excited to actually take a look at this. First of all, this box art looks amazing. Can we just address that? That looks awesome. Also, you can see right there, metal bit chip system. Because actually the bit chips on all of these actually have metal on them. We originally got Dragoon V in the random booster that came with Naked Spriggan. We got Dranzer V through the random booster, but just the lair. And this is for the rest of them. So it's actually exciting to take a look at this. This is to celebrate the anniversary of Beyblade, the 20th anniversary. I actually do want to show the logo real quick because you can actually see the logo right here. So for the logo, it actually has for the two O's. One is Dragoon Victory, and the other one is Galaxy Pegasus for Metal Fight, which I thought was very nice for the anniversary. Is there no, we have to no, we have to take off the cover first. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, that looks nice. Yo, okay, yeah, look at this. That looks awesome. So I actually did get into the original seasons of Beyblade. Quite an experience, huh? Quite an experience. Presentation on the box looks absolutely amazing. As for the bays chosen, you know, it's nice. I think the one that originally came out had more bays, but in defense, you know, those bays were already previously released. But just to actually show you the back of the box, so we see all the characters: Tyson, Kai, Ray, Max, Daichi. Very nice visuals here. So just to go over real quick, this looks very, very nice. Just looking at this, looks very nice. It's also a weird transition because when you go from the first season to the next season for this one, the character designs just like completely change. So something I actually do want to ask in the comments is comment one memory you have from this generation, and also maybe out of the 5 of these bays or even the bladers, which one is your favorite and why? I actually want to see out of these bit beasts, what would you pick? So to go over the parts and everything, we're going to go over each of them part by part, but it is pretty awesome. The only real small complaint is just that, okay, so they give evolution, they give dimension. And the thing is, there's evolution dash and dimension dash. They could have just given it to them. That would have been nice. As well, it's very weird that the Gaia Dragoon before for Burst, they give it hunter dash. They give this iron, but they don't make a new tip like iron. It's weird. I don't know why they just give Gaia Dragoon a new tip like iron dash. But nonetheless, I want to take a look at this. I am saving this box for my own personal collection. Let's first actually, before we open it, bro, look at this. This is amazing. We see a beautiful visual. This looks amazing. This alone makes it worth getting this collector set. Look at it. You see the bit beasts all on the side there. Just going inside. So this actually does come with a launcher, and the launcher actually has a special sticker. Look at that. Nice. Covering the QR. Yes, we do actually have the QR just to show you right there, so nobody thinks, oh, we didn't actually get it. All right, so here we have the launchers set up. So obviously we have the new remake launcher, the Dragon Winder. I don't think that it's longer or anything like that. I thought maybe it might be longer. No, it's just the same one from what I can see. They have a very nice sticker on there. I just had to compare real quick. We have the launcher right here, and what I really do like is just the sticker right here for right and left. That looks really nice. So obviously for right, and then after for left. That is nice. So now we have this on a grip, and it does look very, very nice. Just look at that. Look at that. That is sick. Look at that. Whoa. So, we're going to be going over our first bay, which is Dragoon Victory, since this obviously is not a new bay. We've already seen this. I actually have the random booster one from before, just to do a side by side. So this is the new one, this one's the random booster one. Really the big difference is just stickers, it's better on the new one. So I'm pretty sure they tattoo it actually on the thing. Oh, also the teeth are actually a difference. You can see the new one actually is just transparent right here. The other one is solid color. Other than that, there's really no issue. Just quick thing to mention before we move on to the next part is that the reason why I believe they kind of did Dragoon a little bit dirty is because, not for the choice of parts, well, kind of. Because of how Dragoon's shape is, it is very, very easy to burst, so considering that Brave Valkyrie has the Evolution Dash driver, it would have been nice if they at least released it, or if they at least do a future release where Evolution Dash is in Dragoon's colors. It deserves that much. This thing bursts very easily. But yeah, moving on. Moving on to our next part, we have the Sting disc. So Sting has this whole little bound gimmick and everything. It is a big and bulky disc, and I somehow managed to get 4 stars on it, so that is very nice. Good choice of a disc. It is a very, very solid disc that they chose, and really no complaints for this. So moving on to the next part. Moving on to our next part, we have the Evolution driver. So Evolution works like this. Basically, see these little tipped parts on the Evolution driver. The more battles that you do, the more worn it gets. I actually have my other one where it's worn, or at least more worn than that is. It is an alright attack driver. So let's go over each of the parts. So first of all, let's go over the old random booster layer, which is about 13.42. The new one is about, okay, fair enough. Nice, nice. All right, let's go over to the Sting disc. We're looking at a total of about 28.71 grams. Then after that, the Evolution driver is about 6.49. So now all together now, and you know, honestly, the teeth on all these are pretty solid. Moving on, we have our lair, which is Draciel Viper. So the thing is with Draciel is that the shape cannot work for burst, because every time it gets hit, it's almost a burst right away. I think the choice of parts was very solid, like a rounded orbit metal. We're gonna get to that in a second, but just to actually flip it over. I really like the name Viper and everything. So there it is for the teeth if you do want to take a little bit of a peep at it just to show it. I guess also showing it a little bit of an angle since this is a newer one. The teeth are pretty solid. I think because of how easy these are to burst, they just give them good teeth on purpose. Anyways, we're gonna be moving on to the next part of the bay, which is a round. So a round we originally got on Flare Dragon, and then after we also got on the Gaia Dragoon, the one that's previous to this one. I do like the around disc quite a bit. The around disc with the whole gimmick and everything, you can see it has 4 metal balls that are distributed around it, and 4, wow, okay, look at that luck, lads, 4 stars. Let's go. So we got the around squad right here. That's nice. I love the colors on this around, and I'm assuming this should probably be heavier than the other ones because it's solid and non-transparent. Anyways, I like this disc. I don't think it's crazy or anything like that, but I do like it. And moving on to the next part, we have Orbit Metal. So Orbit Metal originally came on Dread Bahamut. Cool that they chose this one. Colors on it look very nice. And of course, if you want to see it, there you go. So we're going to move on to now the actual weighing of the bay. I have the scale here, so let's see. Draciel is 14 grams on the dot. Let's see the other rounds, because I'm just curious. We have 27.06. We have 27. How much is this one? Ooh, okay, 26. All right, so that's a little bit interesting. All right. What about with the Orbit Metal then? All right, so 28.89. This does vary. Anyways, altogether now we are looking at a total about 48 grams on the dot. Moving on to our next part, we have Dranzer Volcano. So we originally saw this in the random booster for when they distributed this layer. The only difference obviously is that one's the original colors, the other one is silver. So interesting just to mention is that with these bays, I don't know why I didn't say this earlier, but they definitely do modify the shape quite a bit. Because I do know that originally they might be a little bit more spread out for the design or something like that. They modify it a bit so it works for burst, for good or for worse. But it does look very nice for the presentation of it. And we are going to be moving on to the next part. But before we do that, I just want to show the teeth. Alright, moving on to the next part. Next up we have our disc, which is Hurricane. It's 4 stars. If I get 4 stars on all this, I'll freak out. Hurricane originally came on Bushi and Ashura. Hurricane's like, I'm not a fan of this disc, but you know, they chose it for the reasons, I guess, because they're trying to represent the original parts in the best way that they can. Nothing really too special to say about this. If you don't know about Hurricane, free spinning disc. So yeah, moving on to the next part. We have our next part, which is Dimension. I do have to mention this since this is a little bit of a rant. Dimension Dash, they did it. They did that driver. They could have done it for this one. Please, TT, I'm begging you. With Dimension, if you don't know about the gimmick, just the idea. Twist it, the height changes from attack and balance. So in like attack mode, it's flat and balanced. You'll see a little thing stick out like that. And it goes to the tallest height. There's nothing too special with the other ones. Like I don't know if I mentioned this for the Draciel one, but yeah, for the tip for orbit metal, just a metal ball that freely rotates. So yeah, let's wait now. All right, we have the scale here. Let's first do the Dranzer V that originally came on the random booster, and now let's see this one. So 14.19. Okay, so tough luck. All right, what about the Hurricane disc? What do we got? 25.36. All right, what about the Dimension driver? Yeah, these should all be relatively close to each other. Yeah, 46.57. All right, moving on. Next up, we have got Driger. What is it? Driger Vulcan? Vulcan? It looks very... How many times do I gotta say it looks nice, man? How many times do I gotta say it? Anyways, yeah, beautiful. Love it, man. God, the designs for this look so cool. The teeth, by the way, if you want to see it. The teeth for all these are like solid. Like, they're not crazy tight, but they're just like good for all of them. Anyways, moving on to the next part. We have the disc, which is 10. Solid disc, no complaints. For 10, still, we're on 10 stars. 10 stars, whoa, 4-star streak. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have the Reach frame, and funny enough, this is now our second remake Bay that is paired up with 10 Reach. The first one was Lightning El Drago, that was the Metal Fight remake. This Reach is, just compared to the El Drago one, it's a little bit different of a gray. Not really like too crazy or anything. Whatever, they picked Reach. Anyways, let me show here, and now let's move on to the next part. We get our next part, which is weight. Okay. In the comments, after we go after all these bays, you can tell me if they picked the best parts to represent these bays, or if they should have just made it a new driver. Anyways, weight, like, just like a little middle ball, doesn't move around or anything like that. It's just weight. I think we saw this on what? The original, we saw this on Zeus and Burst originally for that driver. Anyways, let's get to the weighing of the parts. So we're going to be going over the part by part. We of course got our layer, 14.31. We then after have our disc, which is 10. We then after have the Reach frame, 2.52. Then after we have, of course, the weight driver. And now, altogether now, you have a total weight of, what is it, 47.14. Moving on to the next bay. Moving on to our next bay with Gaia Dragoon V. Looks really nice. I do like the very silly gimmick of the spinning little blades that it has. It does have it, but this looks a little bit more tame compared to the original Gaia Dragoon. Especially for Burst, I don't think it'll burst as much. Well, it shouldn't be as bad as the original layer. I like it for this sheer gimmick alone. It's nice. So, just go over the teeth and everything. Teeth seem to be okay for this. Anyways, let's move on to the next part. We have our next part, which is 10. It's literally the same thing, just solid disc, whatever. It seems my luck has run out with Gaia Dragoon with only 2 stars on the 10 disc. I see how it is. Alright. Whatever, moving on to the next part. I actually have not seen this part in a while. It is the Expand frame. Expand they originally made on Air Knight for Burst when they made this frame. Okay, it's like a little dark purple on it. Looks nice. Anyways, let's move on to our driver. Our driver is Iron. I actually have not seen Iron in a long time. Again, only real complaint, they could have done Iron It's from Sieg Excalibur, yes. They could have made Iron Dash. You know, they could have done that. Whatever. You know, probably they're just saving it for some other random booster or something. Anyways, cool. Let's weigh it. Alright, we have the scale set up, so let's go over the layer. So we're looking at about 17.69, nice. Versus 17, yeah, okay, that, I mean, that kind of would make sense considering that the blades are bigger than this. Yeah, 17.70. Yeah, okay, but just by a little bit. The 10 disc, 23.72. Expands, 3.39. Iron, 6.87. So all together now, teeth are actually not that bad. All these teeth are pretty solid. 51.6. Wow, okay, that. So obviously just going over the evolutions with Burst, I just want to go over each of them one by one. So Gaia Dragoon, very nice, very nice. Looks cool. Alright, moving on to our next one. These are with the Dranzers. So, it's a very... It's really cool seeing the evolution tree through Burst. So we have Dranzer V, Flame. Look at that. Really cool. Alright, just flip them over. Very nice. Alright, moving on to the next one, which is with Driger. Oh, one of them just a darker shade of gray than the other ones. I think Driger might be one of my favorite ones. Or maybe it's Draciel. Anyways, oh, I did give this Extend Plus. Originally it was just Extend. I forgot about that. Moving on. Speaking of which, by the way, man, what a glow up it had. Okay, moving on for our last one, which is Dragoon. Nice! Alright, we got our first base, 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Not bad. Not bad. Oh, what are you in there, Driger? Well, relax. Alright, let's go over to our next bay. We're gonna go with Dranzer. Because I'm gonna launch it like this. Alright, 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Yeah, it goes kind of wild, but then after it goes... Well, Dimension's going to wear down eventually, so I guess it doesn't really matter because of the rubber. Anyways, moving on to the next one. I'm going to go with Draciel. So let me get out Draciel on the launcher. 3, 2, 1, then rip! Nice! Right. So we're going to go to the next one, which is going to be Gaia Dragoon. We'll end off with Dragoon because it's left, and then after we'll do the battles. Alright, 3, 2, 1, let it rip! A little bit of light launches with this stuff. It looks nice when it's spinning. Let's stop it. Let's do our last one, which is Dragoon. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Alright, sick. Alright. So let's do all the battles in between them. So, alright, let's get started. Alright, whatever, we take it. Lost to Dragoon. Or Gaia Dragoon, I mean. Alright, let's set up the next one. With Draciel. Now let's see who's gonna take this one. It's gonna be a little bit interesting, actually. Yeah, Dragoon is like the worst one out of the remakes. It just bursts so easy. All right. Well, so far it's losing to everyone, so that's not really a good sign for Dragoon. Let's get Driger. Does it beat Driger at least? Can it? It loses to everyone in Burst. Okay, well, we've got our next one. This should go by really fast then, if they're just gonna burst like that. Our last one, which is Dranzer. I am amazed. Well, I mean, that one's just done because it already lost to everybody. So on that note, let's keep it going. All right, let's do Dranzer against everybody now. All right, let's get Dranzer set up. Let's do it against Driger. Let's see who wins between the two in this. A bit unbalanced there. Going through. And a burst finish. Interesting. Okay. So moving on to our next one, we're going to get Draciel. Actually, hold on. I'll do a stronger launch with this. Draciel definitely should burst, otherwise I will be surprised. Oh, well, I guess because of the around it, maybe. It's somehow surviving. Impressive. Okay, we move on to our last one. And after we just do... Alright. Gaia Dragoon. Kills it. Alright, good to know. Alright, so far, you and Dranzer not doing too hot. Alright, let's do our next one with Driger. Actually, let's do Gaia Dragoon against them. Alright, it's going around. Alright, we're gonna see between these two who gets it. I'm hoping it's Gaia. Well, you can hear the orbit metal. Right. Few hits. No hits. Few hits. Alright, sick. Alright. Do it against Driger, then after Driger against Draciel. Very good hits all around. It's gonna be at the end. No burst. Ooh, okay. Let's do our last one between these two. Alright, now let's see. Okay. So in the comments, you can kind of just vary and tell me which one you think is the best. We're going to end off on a big note, and we're just going to do all of them at once, one round. So, here we go. Up. Whoa. Whoa! The one that is the last base standing, literally, is Draciel Viper. That's awesome, man. Wow. So overall, my thoughts on this remake set are very nice. You get a very cool... Pass me the launcher? Pass me the launchers again? You get this amazing setup of a launcher. This is a solid ripcord. The bays seem okay. You know, they seem fine. I don't think you can probably get any competitive use out of them, but you know, this is like for collectors anyway, so not really a big of a deal. And they didn't do that bad of a job, I would say, in my own opinion. However, if you disagree, if you're an old Jan fan, you think, nah, Kitty didn't do a good job on this, that, or this, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's where we're ending off this video. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and have an awesome and amazing day.